A shocking family secret unfolds on The Bold and the Beautiful. Thorne Forrester reveals Dylan is his daughter. The glamorous world of Los Angeles fashion has been rocked by yet another shocking revelation. In a stunning turn of events on The Bold and the Beautiful, a mysterious figure from Dylan's past arrives in town, forever changing the young woman's life and rattling the Forrester family to its core. The revelation: Dylan's father is none other than Thorne Forrester, a man she never knew existed in her life. Dylan, portrayed by Sydney Bullock, has been a captivating presence on the show since her introduction as Hayes Finnegan's art teacher. Living out of her car and struggling to find her place in the wealthy world of Los Angeles, Dylan has quietly charmed those around her, particularly Will Spencer and Electra Forrester. Her innocent vulnerability has drawn sympathy from viewers and the residents of Los Angeles alike. But beneath her surface there has always been something mysteriously untold about her background. Now that secret is about to come into the light. An unexpected arrival. The pivotal moment begins when Thorne Forrester unexpectedly appears in Los Angeles. His arrival doesn't come as a routine family visit. Instead, it's driven by a profound personal revelation that has been weighing heavily on his heart. For years, Thorne has carried a secret, one that only recently came to light. He has discovered that he is the biological father of Dylan, a discovery that rocks him to his core and compels him to travel to Los Angeles to see the daughter he never knew he had. When Ridge Forrester receives word of Thorne's unexpected return, shock and confusion ripple through the Forrester mansion. Ridge, the patriarch of the fashion empire, has always been the face of the family, and his younger brother's dramatic reappearance sets off alarm bells. Eric Forrester, the founder of Forrester Creations and the family's moral compass, is equally stunned by the news. "What do you mean Thorne is back in town?" Ridge demands, his voice tense with bewilderment. "And what's this about him having a daughter? Since when?" Eric furrows his brow, his steady demeanor shaken for perhaps one of the first times in recent memory. The two men exchange glances fraught with questions, their minds immediately racing to understand how such a crucial piece of family history could have remained hidden for so long. The truth emerges when Thorne finally sits down with Ridge and Eric to explain his appearance. The story unfolds like a carefully guarded secret, finally breaking free. Thorne's voice carries both regret and a newfound sense of paternal responsibility as he recounts how he only recently discovered the truth about Dylan's parentage. "I didn't know," Thorne begins his words, measured and deliberate. "For years I had no idea that I had a daughter, a child that I never knew existed. It wasn't until recently that someone from my past came forward and told me the truth about Dylan. When I found out, I couldn't just ignore it. I couldn't pretend that this young woman wasn't my responsibility." The revelation sends shockwaves through Ridge and Eric. The implications are staggering. Not only is there a new family connection that no one anticipated, but there's also the uncomfortable reality that Dylan, the girl who has been quietly integrating herself into the lives of Will Spencer, and Electra Forrester is now part of their bloodline. The web of relationships that defines the Forrester family suddenly becomes far more complicated. Ridge, still processing the information, leans back in his chair. "So you're telling us that Dylan, the girl who's been helping with Hayes, the one who's been spending time with Will and Electra, is your daughter? How is that possible? How did this happen?" "It's a complicated story," Thorne responds, his jaw tightening. "There were circumstances I wasn't aware of at the time. A relationship from my past that resulted in Dylan's birth. I wasn't told about her until very recently. But now that I know the truth, I intend to be the father she deserves. She's a Forrester, and she deserves to know who she is and where she comes from." A family in turmoil. Eric, who has weathered countless family storms over his decades in fashion and life, nonetheless finds this development deeply troubling. The arrival of a new family member always carries complications, but the mystery surrounding Dylan's origins and the sudden revelation threatens to upend the delicate family balance. "Thorne, we need to know everything," Eric says firmly, his voice carrying the weight of paternal authority. "How did you find out? Where has Dylan been all this time? And more importantly, how will this affect her?" The conversation grows more intense as the three men grapple with the implications. Ridge worries about how this will impact the family dynamics, particularly given Dylan's close relationship with Will and Electra. There's also the question of how the rest of the family will react to this revelation. Steffi, who has shown kindness to Dylan, will need to know. Brooke, always protective of family matters, will have opinions. And the broader Forrester clan, well, they will undoubtedly have many questions. The question of identity. What makes this revelation particularly poignant is Dylan's perspective. For so long she has been adrift in Los Angeles, a young woman without clear family ties or connections. She has struggled financially, lived in her car, and worked as a teacher to scrape together a living. The discovery that she is a Forrester, one of the most prominent and wealthy families in the fashion industry, could change everything about her life. But it also raises uncomfortable questions about identity, belonging, and acceptance. Does Dylan know yet? Ridge asks, his protective instinct kicking in. And more importantly, are you sure about this? How certain are you that Dylan is actually your biological daughter? I've had confirmatory tests done, Thorne replies solemnly. There's no doubt in my mind. Dylan is my daughter. She deserves to know the truth about her father, and I deserve the chance to know my daughter. Moving forward. As word of Thorne's return and the revelation about Dylan spreads through the Forrester household and eventually throughout Los Angeles, the soap opera world will once again be turned upside down. Dylan, who has navigated her young life with quiet resilience, will suddenly find herself thrust into the spotlight as a newly recognized member of the Forrester family. The implications of this connection will ripple through her relationships with Will and Elektra, test the bonds within the Forrester family structure, and create new storylines brimming with drama, emotional depth, and complexity. Thorne, who has spent much of his life in his brother Ridge's shadow, may find redemption and purpose in finally getting to know his daughter. Eric and Ridge will need to grapple with the reality of this expanding family tree. And Dylan, the innocent newcomer who has captured hearts with her gentle demeanor and quiet strength, will have to decide what it means to be a Forrester and whether she can embrace this new identity while maintaining her authentic self. The stage is set for one of The Bold and the Beautiful's most compelling narratives yet, a story of family secrets, unexpected connections, and the transformative power of discovering where you truly belong. In the glamorous, high-stakes world of Los Angeles fashion, where everything is visible and nothing stays hidden, Thorne Forrester's return with the truth about Dylan promises to deliver the kind of drama that keeps viewers coming back to the show day after. For Dylan, for Thorne, for Ridge and Eric, and for the entire Forrester family, life will never be quite the same.